Hey there, Universus. My name is Levi. Welcome to another video, and what you're looking at right now is a monstrosity. This is going to be another build a deck, and this one's going to be coming off of my patron Zeth, and holy cow, they have a goal. They have a mission in life, and it's to smear the rival with Blast Rush Turbo. Their words, not mine. What you're looking at right now is a Bakugo 1 deck that has one express goal to it, and it is just to make the biggest Blast Rush Turbo alive on turn 2, no less. So we're on the air symbol. We're going to be looking to do a lot of card pool clearing, a lot of momentum stealing to just make this thing as absolutely monumentally one-shot capable of the rival's entire health total as we possibly can. Now, and they sent me the draft here, and I think this is a hilarious concept, and I have a lot of plans for it, and so we've got a lot of refining to do, guys. First off, you're going to notice this is a 52 card deck. Block zones are irrelevant. We're not here for turn 3. That turn 3 is not real to us. But we're a 52 card deck with 30 attacks in it, which is, with all due respect, not gonna slide. We're sure looking to try and draw 5 attacks on turn 2, which is fine, but we do have ways to do that without like destroying our deck construction. So I have a lot of ideas here, a whole lot of ideas, and honestly, this is going to be a pretty big rework. So let's start looking into the things that I have down here. There's a couple big things I want to point out. The first one is Manifest. This is the nuttiest way to snap momentum right now inside of the air symbol. It's really, really crazy. Being able to just immediately take one of your other things from the card pool, snap it in face up, and join a card is nuts. It lets you dig a little bit more too. It's really, really, really crazy sick. And so we've got a couple things in here. We're playing stuff like Humble Hero to snap momentum. And then we've also got a 4x Levitate, because another one of the big things that Zeth wants to do with this deck is get 2 momentum, steal 2 momentum on turn 2, and then use Levitate to discard a momentum, mill a ton of attacks, eventually find a foundation. Now we have like a bunch of attacks in our discard pile, and Blast Rush Turbos for like 20. And so that's kind of the goal there. As cute as that is, I'm not sure if that combo's going to stay in, because I think stealing 2 momentum is really, really lofty. And if anything, I'd rather use that momentum somewhere else, like playing 2 Blast Rush Turbos on turn 2 instead. Because odds are our Rebel's going to be able to block one of them no matter what, unless we're like really, really going off like crazy. So those are kind of some of the main concepts I have in here. I want to put a lot more card filtering in here. We're playing signature right swing already, but I also want to put a bunch of latent skills in here. The idea is that we're going to have so much filtering and so much card draw between like the latent skills, the signature rights, the manifests, that even though our deck is going to end up at like a reasonable ratio, attack and foundation wise, we're still going to be able to dig for those insanely hot hands, especially with 4 stun grenade in the deck as well. So those are a lot of the big things. And then as far as like padding out the damage goes, you know, we have stuff like Spiral Wave Surge, which is going to put a lot of pressure on. Nature Wave, also going to potentially get a lot of damage and commit our rival out pretty hardcore. You know, the idea is like a 5-speed Blast Rush Turbo. If you're committed out and you have a thing in the pool, it's like pretty unblockable. So we're going to be looking to kind of maneuver our way around a lot of that interaction. I also want to put some cards inside of our deck that are going to deal with our rival's defensive enhances, because that's what's going to stop this deck. We're a very, very one-track minded deck. So I'm going to be looking at maybe things like Shock Treatment for some target committing, and maybe things like Taiyaki to cancel abilities as well. Another thing is Breaker. Breaker is going to massively slow us down, so I think Ryukyu Agency Trainees is also going to be a big card that I want to put in this deck. So that's a lot of the primary pieces I'm thinking of when I just kind of have this list right here. I also want to put in, I want to maintain like most of the high spam ratio as well, because we're really looking to like build 5 on turn 1 with this deck every time. So those are kind of the concepts I have. As far as refining things go, given that we're we want to be so all in on Blast Rush Turbo on turn 2, this is a 52 card deck. I'm going to make it a 50 card deck. I'm going to make it a 50 card deck for sure. I'm going to make it a 50 card deck with 4 manifest. That's the goal here. As far as the foundation attack ratio, we'll figure that out momentarily. But the first thing I'm going to do is slam 4 manifest in this deck, because I think that's going to really, really, really start churning things. You know, you block me, I'll clear it. But if you take it, you know, you risk me having that manifest, and then you took a bunch of damage for nothing. So I also think the presence of this card just like tells our rival they don't get to block us. They don't get to block us. I'm sorry, they don't get to just like take us, right? They have to block us, because if you take it, you risk me clearing it anyway, and then you just might get so freaking punished from that point onwards. So with that being said, we're going to need to trim a lot of these attacks. I'm just going to start cutting the things that I don't particularly like in here. Glacier Breaker is cute because they want to block it, right? It doesn't let me draw a card, but they're just going to take 3 and let you draw a card. It's this one's not helping our game plan very much, other than they take 3 damage. The next massive cut I want to make is, as sad as it sounds, I want to cut instant explosive release, especially with the presence of manifest in the deck now. You know, taking our attacks is just not allowed. Also, we're about to be like, we're trying to be a very, very one trick pony focused, I do one thing and that's it, right, gimmick deck. So we're already going to be very predictable. This is also one of the most predictable cards in the world. Sure, when you're playing Bakugo, it's like a win-win outcome, but I think, you know, when we're going to be trying to go down to this 50-card deck, every single card in our hand is going to matter, and when they block our first move, sure, we get to do cool things, but then these are going to be dead cards in our hand, and I don't like that. So we're going to cut that one as well. Single spiral, I kind of like the idea of, it's these 3 Neijire attacks that I'm a little iffy on. These 4 Bakugo attacks, perfect. These four Bakugo attacks are absolutely perfect right now. These signature right, Nitro, Stun Grenade, and Blast Rush Turbo ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. In fact, we're probably gonna even put in like a 3rd Blast Rush Turbo, because Scene 2 is we're gonna look to Scene 2 to be like our high roll here. But as far as these 3 Neijire moves go, I think it's tough, man. These all do really good stuff for our deck. This is more discard to draw to, and I think once our rival like knows what's going on, they're probably just taking this move all day. So I think I'm gonna stick it in the sideboard in case like I want to come back to it, but I'm gonna cut it for now. And then I think I'm also going to cut. I'm gonna cut one of these for now. I'm gonna cut one of these for now. I think, given that we have Stun Grenade in the deck, this card might feel like diminishing returns and also asks us for our momentum. So I'm going to cut it for now and just leave it at like these 18. I'm going to leave it at like these 18 for now. And I do have some other things in here. I think Howitzer Impact could go really hard in this deck as like a 4-diff foundation that just like comes in and chunks him for the rest, right? You take my Blast Rush Turbo for like, you know, what, you know, 19, 20 or so, and then this comes in for like the remaining, you know, 6 to 8 damage as a 4-diff. It's a 6 low for the rest of your life total. It's super tough to stop. Or if you like stop the Blast Rush Turbo, right, by the hair of your shitty chin chin, this is a free 8 damage. I think this is really cool. And then Chimera Kraken I think is really good because it's like stun 1, but it's specifically targeted stun 1, right? Commit and freeze whatever they have. Also, if you've got some really annoying asset, right? You know, your twisty surroundings, right? Something like that. You know, something that's gonna, you're airy, right? If you somehow already have a momentum, maybe you went first, right? I think these are really, really good abilities for us. Also, like, this is a Fury. We get to clear some Bakugo because for some reason this is a Fury, and that's amazing. So like that sounds really good in this deck. Might actually replace the Spiral Wave Surge. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna leave these here for now, and that's got us at 44 cards at the moment. So now let's come over to these foundations. I think we need way more zeros in this deck. I think we need way more zeros in this deck. I think 4 basic training and 4 requesting is a must. And then I'm even gonna actually, is there like another air 0 that we can play that I would like kind of be in love with? Because like, truth be told, I'm not sure if release is like crazy good in this deck. It's basically just endanger and save a million. I don't care about either of these. Okay, I guess it's just release, that way we can sometimes have turn 2, right? I guess we'll leave release at 2. I think 10 zeros in this 50 card deck is probably fine. From there on out, I want to do some interesting things, guys. So we already have like no low blocks in this deck, which is a little embarrassing. I want to put a 1 of Ryukyu in here because it's really good against Breaker. Zeth had Sun Eater of the big 3 in here, which in the sideboard, which I can only assume is for like momentum protection, but no, we're spending it. We're spending it where we come from. If you got freaking if you got Capture Evildoers, man, it's on you, you know? It's on you, man. I deserve to die to that. We got to put 4 latent skills in here. We got to put 4 latent skills in here because we're here for the high roll. We want to build that card. We want to build that card on turn 1 every single time. Now we're starting to look a little bit more fluid here. Small and Limber card leaves your stage in the combat phase makes total sense, right? We destroy our foundations. This is like 2 foundations every single time. And this is fine. It also gives 1/1, but it commits. I think as much as like this being 2 foundations is really dope, I think I'd rather be playing stuff like Feelin' Cute or Neijire-chan because these are repeatable, right? We get to these on like, every single move. Feelin' Cute's probably the one because like we can already destroy a foundation for 2 damage, right? We don't really need another destroy for 1 damage. So Feelin' Cute, I think I like better than the Small and Limber here. Let's go through the rest. I think with me trying to make this a 50 card deck and wanting to put in a bunch of other things, I don't think Levitate stays in here. I know this was like the cute play, Zeth. I'm really sorry, but I think in the interest of the biggest Blast Rush Turbo ever, I think I'd rather just send 2 Blast Rush Turbos, right? Or a Blast Rush Turbo if it gets blocked, and then we have a bunch of momentum for like Stun Grenade, like a powerful there. I think there's better ways to do that. And also Levitate just doesn't do anything else inside the deck, right? Like this response, we don't even care about that. Blocking, absolutely not in my house. Not in my house whatsoever. Humble Hero. So let's talk about Humble Hero. This is the start of our combat phase. We can just, shove this into our momentum if we have none. But, what if, alternatively, hear me out, play Vast Hybrid instead. Vast Hybrid essentially is going to do a very similar thing, except we don't lose it as far as like the committal power goes aggressively, because it does go to momentum, right? But then we can give our next check +1, so we get to do that, right? And then if we do make it to like the next turn, right, we can do this form on our next one. Granted, if you played this and Humble Hero, you could get like both of those abilities, right? Steal a momentum at the start, then Vast Hybrid form. That's really cool, but I think it might be a little too Christmas land. But I think Vast Hybrid could be sicker than Humble Hero. Not to mention we can do like some really cute plays where we could like play a Vast Hybrid into our card pool as our first form, and then play an attack, and then manifest the Vast Hybrid and then get that face-up momentum ability. Like, there's really cute stuff going on here, and so I think I'm gonna take these 2 out. I'm gonna put in 3 Vast Hybrids, because this is just our guaranteed momentum. And honestly, maybe if we're really trying to do the thing, maybe there's a world where you play both of those. You could totally try that out, and I don't even think that's a terrible thing. From here on out, I think our spams is where we need to be doing some cleaning up. Feeling Cute is nice, but honestly, I think flip for +2 speed on like the big one to kill you, right? The Blast Rush Turbo, 7 speed Blast Rush Turbo. That's like unblockable in a lot of turn 2 scenarios after like at least a block or maybe some stunning or something. I think the Feelin' Cutes should just be more Let's Fight Bad Guys. There should probably just be 4 of those in the deck, because I'd rather flip for 2 speed on one move than destroy for 1 speed on every move, right? Like, because like we're so all in on one big move, right? So I think the Bad Guys makes a lot more sense in this deck. From there on out, we even have 1 more card slot. Wow, we got 1 more card slot. That's crazy. So let's look at some of the other stuff I have in here. Let's take the Levitate out of here, because I'm pretty sold on it not being a part of things. I had Grenadier Bracers in here, but I think now that the way this deck is going, I don't think this makes sense anymore. We need foundations. We need foundations. We just don't care about assets. We'll get Alliteration out of here because we already have a better version. I was also considering Supportive Friend, but like we're already playing Let's Fight Bad Guys, and that's just a better exchange. This Deadlock is cool, but we're never going to be there. Literally never going to be there. Let's talk about interaction a little bit. So we have Shock Treatment and we have Taiyaki Fanatic. Taiyaki just says, destroy and cancel something. Shock Treatment says destroy and commit something. That feels better, right? Just commit the thing that's going to give me trouble rather than just canceling its ability. And then alternatively, we can even discard Momentum to commit instead. If we really end up on like a crazy, like, manifested up insane nitro going sicko mode with a turn, yeah, I think I like Shock Treatment conceptually a lot better, so we'll put that in as a 1-of. Remember guys, this is going to be a 50 card deck, so like 1-ofs are like actually a thing we're going to see pretty consistently. Our block zones are abysmal, but we just don't care. There's literally no reason to even think about that. There's no room for a speed reduction card in this deck. I'm not even going to put Nice Try in here. Any foundation that we commit aggressively while we're attacking, we want to destroy anyway. It doesn't matter. As far as the rest of our spams go, I have Arrogance in here and I have Encouragement. I really like the idea of Encouragement in this deck, but I think just because we're playing 4 Manifest, it doesn't make as much sense, right? Like my unblocked attack, hits you. I probably want to snap. I want to play another one. I want to play a second move and then snap that one in with Manifest, right? Like that just seems like it makes more sense. I think that's kind of the way to go here. Either way, we're not really playing on a lot of progressive. We have we have 9 non-spams in here. There's an argument maybe, is 18 attacks the right amount? Are we gonna mess with our foundation numbers anymore? Is 18 attacks the right amount? Or actually, let's look at our spams. Actually, Destined for Mainstream Success is fine. It just kind of guarantees that there's like a 4 on top of the deck. We're 50 cards right now. I think I'm just trying to decide if I really like Small and Limber in this deck or not. I think it's probably fine. I think it's like an okay 2-of, and then this isn't like an okay 3-of. We have 9 to 19 on the spam to non-spam ratios right now. So like I think this is okay. Arrogant, you know, I like it just because like it's a nice low block and a 6 check. So, and like checking 6s is pretty cool. We're gonna be playing on a 6 a lot. Like 4-6 checks in this deck could just go a really long way. But it's probably not as like good as like how active Destined is in the deck. So let's get this out of here, and then Encouragement, I think because we're trying to do the manifest thing, just doesn't make the cut. I also put Season in here, but like we're already playing before manifest. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Is 18 attacks the right amount? Because like look at all these other moves in here. Let's get this Airstream Driver. I thought the Airstream Driver was cool for like the sealing a card thing because we steal a lot of momentum, but I think Shock Treatment, and I want to put in Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken so bad, is gonna take care of that. I think Vast Hybrid probably just replaces these Spiral Wave Surges. The buffing our check is really cool, but you know, we already got like ways to do that, right? And like we already have ways to do our card pool clearing and all that jazz. And then I think you know, we have enough. We have 8 discard 2 draw 2s in this deck, right? So I think this is probably not necessary, and our rival's able to control it, right? So I wasn't into it then. I think I'm still not into it now. Nature Wave could be like a sick one of. I think Nature Wave could be a sick one of. We could maybe go like, is 3 Blast Rush Turbo really necessary? I feel like we're gonna see half of our deck by turn 2. I really feel like we're gonna see like half of our deck by turn 2, man. I think let's go. I don't know. It's like okay to see 2 of these though, right? Like they're just like 5 low for 8, 10, you know, 5 low for 10 with our character, right? I think it's like actually okay. I just really want to play like a sick one of Howitzer, man. I think we could like cut, I don't know, like a singular signature right swing. Play a one of Howitzer. You could do one of Howitzer or one of Nature Wave. I think both are fine. I think both are totally fine. And then, wow, we have 4 low blocks in our deck because I cut the, yeah, because I cut the Nature attack. That's actually really funny. That's actually really funny. Low blocks aren't real. Low blocks aren't real, guys. We just don't need them. We just don't need them. Boom, guys. This is 50 cards. This is a 50 card pile that's literally going to sling nuclear levels of Blast Rush Turbo, ideally on turn 2. You know, between Nitro, Manifest, and Vast Hybrid, we have 11 cards inside our 50 card deck that are going to steal momentum for us. So like, it's going to be online. It's just going to be online, I promise. And like, Kraken is so cool because like we kind of put them in a position where like they feel forced to block it, because holy cow, if they eat the Kraken as the opening move, we play the second one, Manifest in the Kraken, 2 speed to my Blast Rush Turbo. Oh, that's absolutely vile. That's super duper vile. Super duper vile. And like, our difficulty curve is still not bad because like this is a 4 diff, right? And these are all 4 diffs. So I think it's gonna, you know, Stun Grenade, Nitro, and Signature Right are all still like fantastic little opening moves. Man, this is sick. This is really sick. This has a plan. This has a plan, and I think it's going to enact it quite a lot, man. We have so much stat pump inside of our spams. We have so much like, you know, targeted stuff. These 1-ofs are going to pop up more often than you think in a 50 card deck. Yeah, this is gnarly. This is gnarly. I hope you were happy with this. Have fun testing this and have fun trying to nuke people from orbit, or just never, you know, just drawing a million attacks every time and never getting to build. There's going to be a lot of feast and famine when it comes to this bad boy, I promise you. But that being said, this is my presentation, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to try out this deck for yourself, of course the link will be in the description, and if you want a deck commission just like this, my Patreon's linked down there too. Above all else though, thanks just for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope I can see you in the next one.